Traders, welcome back to the channel. You're getting the movement that we've been expecting, the move to $34, $35. It is upon us, and this is where I see the first area of resistance before we start pushing any higher. Like, subscribe. We're not going to waste any more time. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket.
All right, so we're going to hop right into this first. Also want to pull up Yahoo Finance that we have just to look at the volume, because that's what's really helping us move today, as well as getting some of that buying pressure. We're under this thesis that buying is holding the price down and this and that and this and that. No, it's not. If you had a dip on the market as a whole, it had nothing to do with anything like that. Halfway through the day, you're sitting at almost 33 million. That's sitting pretty good as well. This is going to increase. You want to see a little bit higher, almost up to 50 million if you can, but you are uptrending from the low of 45 when you push down to $28. So that's pretty good news as well. You're going to want to see more volume, but this is where I want to talk about right now. As you're pushing right now onto the indexes, looking at the 15-minute chart just to look at the intraday price action, things like that. You got pushed below this trend that you were holding and breaking back up. So you might get pressed down, but the key thing here is holding the VWAP right here. The VWAP is going to trend, probably stagnate a little bit, but can you keep your price action above it? Because as we keep mentioning here, when you want to spot the next trend, when you want to spot AMC to start its next leg up or leg down, whatever it may be, the VWAP's been your best friend, if you will. So looking at the VWAP, just want to explain what I mean, right? So as you see, when you bottom down here, that perfect double bottom or perfect bounce we have on that support, which I mentioned on Twitter, I mentioned here on the channel, people, were like, Tyler, you suck, yada, yada, yada. But guess what? You're bouncing. You're going back to 34, 35, like we mentioned. Good stuff, right? So from that level, you mounted VWAP and you're pressing back up. If you held below VWAP, it's been for very short periods of time and you're popping right back above, but you also did have a test of that weekly and almost a double test, which was the indicator that this was a buying opportunity and that you were holding support, and then you started pushing back to those levels and you inevitably kept holding VWAP. So right now you're still above it, so you're still very bullish as long as you hold this on the 15-minute and the 1 hour. So looking back at the downtrend that we had, right? So when we had that downtrend, when we looked really bullish at 44 and you came down from indexes, fears of inflation, fear of Omicron, all that type of stuff, right? Look what happened. You pushed below VWAP and you never could really stay back above. If you just monitor that VWAP, right, you're just staying below it the whole time. Like right here, you kind of mounted it, but you got pushed back below it. A key thing you can look at too for knowing when a good time or a good amount on the VWAP is, right, is when you have a weekly, daily, or even monthly level. Monthly is gonna be the biggest, but if you can mount a monthly and you have and you're above VWAP as well, those are indicators that you are in a bullish trend, right? So right here, you started mounting VWAP, but you can never get back above the daily. That's an indicator probably not to get into this because you're still showing weakness. You're making those lower highs as well, pushing back down, and you just keep holding below VWAP literally the whole time. I've made this demonstration countless times, right? There's no reason to try to knife grab. The play is always just wait for some strength and then buy into the strength, and you're going to get that pop. The same thing keeps happening with AMC, right? So you're not really ever just going straight down and then straight right back up. That's generally not what happens here. And if you just keep watching the trend, right, this is just what happens. So even though you come down, this would have been like a knife catch, if you will. You popped up and you came right back down, and then you kept coming down, right? So these are all indication things of what's going on right now. And right now you're finally getting a little bit more IV pressing. Now, I've been mentioning the options that I have, and people on Twitter are posting their gains. They're making 40, 30, 50, 60. You got almost up to 100% gains on the $40 strikes. Yesterday, the contracts were sitting at 42 cents for the $40 strikes for December 17th. Today, they got all the way up to about 99 cents, which is overall a double gain, just in a matter of 1 day on an option. Now, people are going to say options are killing the price, you're killing the stock, yada, yada, yada. Well, those people are uneducated and they're just mad because they're not making any money on options. Now, you can hold your shares, and I think shares are really what's going to help get this thing running as well. I have shares. I'm going to continue getting shares as well, but it's important to know that you can make a lot of money on options, and that's where I'm focusing on right now until I can grab more leaps for the March 95s or when I think you're getting that strength. Now, we've been talking about for a few days, this is the area you need to test, 34.5 to 35, maybe $36. That's going to be the area of resistance, and you're sitting pretty close to there now. I think you're going to get a little bit more of a push, but it's important, I think, you don't get greedy and you monitor how you react to this level. Like I said as well, most likely you start pushing up, you touch, you start coming back down, and you get rejected the first time, and you see how you react from the support there. These are going to be things you're going to want to watch, how you're reacting once you get rejected. We always anticipate a rejection on the first attempt. You never expect it to shoot right through a resistance or a support on the first try. That's just how price action based trading works. That's just how we trade, right? So looking at what's going on here, you are getting a little bit of curl down on the 15 minutes. So you probably start slowing down a little bit. Going to the 1 hour, the 1 hour still looks extremely strong. You're still getting that movement. And then this is the thing that has me most excited is the OBV on the AMC, right? This has been the end-all be-all indicator for us and really spotting the breakouts. The volume keeps increasing, right? No matter what, it just keeps increasing. The volume looks like it wants to break out from these local highs. And this has been kind of the weirdest action that you've seen. It's most similar back here that we had back in April and May, right? So how you saw how you trended up, right? And you sat at those very high levels and eventually you just shot out and started going crazy. Shockingly similar, a little bit more. You're getting higher highs here actually, which is kind of crazy. So once you start breaking out and getting strong movement, you're going to see AMC just go bonkers if you start getting that movement that you really, really need. So overall, feeling very confident. The 4 hour, you're just now getting across. Everything does look strong. I mean, the indicators are there, but what I'm saying in the short term right now, you look for a test of 34, 34.5, all the way up to $36, and then how you react from those levels. Now, people are saying, you know, the squeeze starts tomorrow, 369, the Illuminati, and they're just making up theories and just running crazy, right? They're saying, well, you might push up and then you might spring down and then you might shoot off to $3,000. Well, the thing is people are saying stuff to get views, and I understand it. Some people, this is their job. They rely on this as a source of income, but I'm never going to BS you here on the channel. I'm not going to say stuff just so you come back for more views. I'm going to tell you how I'm trading, how I'm looking at the stock, and how I'm making money on this, because that's ultimately the best way that can benefit you, and that's the people that I want to be watching the channel. I'm not interested in making you feel good and feel like you have plenty of hope when you come here on the channel. It's about getting real informed knowledge and how we are moving and why we are moving. That's why I can back up everything that I say here. And I never wanted to directly just call people or anything like that, but I had to address it when people were saying that buying AMC was a fact of why you were going to be pushed down. And then after that narrative was pushed out there that buying AMC was overall bad for the movement to go up, guess what happened? You ended up dropping, not coincidentally, from $40 all the way to $28. Is that a coincidence? I really don't think so. As we're pushing false narratives that these crazy things are happening as well. I never want people to come here and expect you're going to get a moonshot the next day, because that's probably not going to happen right now. There's a lot of things you need to have happen over the next few days and weeks to start getting that level of a push, and I've covered those in previous videos going over the squeeze options and things like that, and what has to take place to start getting those pushes for people to start covering and things like that. But as of right now, this is what I'm looking at, and I'm just going to give you my bare bones honest truth when it comes to the stock. I like it. It looks good. You could get a retest back to the view up. That'd be a buying opportunity unless you start holding below it, but until then I'm looking for 35, 35.5, 34.5, that range right there. That's going to be your resistance. You have 2 monthly levels there. That's going to be an obvious area of resistance, and you got to be watching that. And before I get out of here, I also want to address that I do not have any March 95s. I keep seeing people comment on this, and the only thing that I could really assume is that people are just watching 3 minutes of the video, hearing what they want to hear, and then hopping out. Now, again, I think that's a very dangerous method when it comes to investing specifically, but ultimately in life, just hearing what you want to hear is dangerous. So I think you should be listening to the video, understanding my logic behind it, asking questions, but don't ask questions if I'm putting it in the videos. For the last 4 or 5 videos, I've let everyone know I don't have March 95s. I cut those at around $2.50 when we were roughly at $35. I repositioned myself. I got back in on the lows. I bought $40 strikes, lower dated, and guess what? Now we double our money in those contracts, and we're looking to make more money on options. Why are we buying options? So we can buy more shares that are risk-free, because we made the money via options on AMC. And as you have no risk, you have no real reason to look at those plays as well. So I have a whole portfolio set up with just my AMC on a separate broker that I never look at for my long-term positions, because my interest is not day trading those. It's a long-term position that I'm not concerned about that money. It's already withdrawn from my account. It has no influence on my life. It is totally separate from everything. And that's really how long-term investing should be. If you are concerned in the short term, that's not the mindset of an investor, and you're most likely trading with money that you can't afford to lose. So be careful, do your own DD. This is my viewpoint. $34.5, $36 is where I'm aiming for. You did get a really nice press up. You almost pushed 30. You did push 34, so that was really nice. maybe that you're a little bit under, but so far until you flip VWAP, I remain very, very bullish. In closing, looking at SPY, looking at Dow, looking at the Nasdaq, all the indexes, you're sitting very, very bullish going into the end of the week and moving into next week. They've raised the debt ceiling and they're voted positively on moving that debt ceiling up. So most likely that's very bullish as well for the economy and shows that you have a level of support, even if inflation, things like that start to incur, that they're going to keep raising that debt ceiling and helping the economy out as soon as possible and as much as possible. Going into next week, you have Powell talking, so beware. He is a full-blown bear as we speak. So when he talks, most likely indexes will drop. So prepare for that going into Monday. It is possible that that does affect AMC, but I cannot tell you without a doubt that that will or will not affect it. But as of right now, these are what I'm looking at. This is how I see us moving. You're pushing back to $30, as you can see right there. You love to see. If you have questions, comment down below. I love to answer your questions. The Twitter is absolutely free, daily content. I'm telling you what I like, stocks I like that aren't even AMC, how we're moving, key levels, and I'm talking to you guys and answering questions as much as possible there. The Discord link is down below for every single trade I'm taking, getting a hold of me day in, day out, and we're also live every single day from market open to market close. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Back tomorrow, and remember, we run the market.
Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve them. No, that don't